And we are coming down in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler, and I'm joined by Sheen Washable.
New.
Toothpick Souls. Yeah.
Mascros Massey.
And the Rat of a Red Baron.
I don't know why I was expecting something else there.
I forgot that we're not live anymore, and I was waiting for the theme song to play, and I almost started humming it, and then Paul started talking.
Kendall, you're not a cold pizza anymore?
Oh, on frozen pizza. I totally forgot.
Fucked it up already.
Yeah, the Rat of a Red Baron, who's also a frozen pizza. My apologies.
Nah, you fucked it up.
Nope.
Max, what were you talking about?
What do you mean?
You said you were expecting something else.
I don't know. For whatever reason, I was expecting something after you that wasn't me, but it was supposed to be me. That's why I sounded so confused when I said my name.
We're good at this, and we've been doing it for a long time.
We're the fucking best.
If you ever turned us off after 1 minute and 10 minutes, thank you. Stick around for 50 more minutes of bad.
No, it's a lot more than that.
Starting line.
I'm drinking a good old Bush.
From the Christmas collection.
Whose Christmas collection?
Paul's Christmas gift to me collection.
Okay.
I'm drinking Two Roads, Too Juicy.
Nice.
Thank you, Paul.
Welcome.
From the Riddler collection.
See, Kendall, I thank people when they get me stuff.
It's so funny.
From the Riddler collection, of which I have been very grateful for many, many years. From Mayflower Brewing Company, a limited edition Standish Imperial Stout.
Danish Stout?
Standish Imperial Stout.
You said Danish.
If I did, I apologize. I thought I said Standish.
You did. But I wanted to
Sound
second guess myself.
I have a water.
Nerd.
Yeah, we're not a special enough occasion. Jerk.
Yeah.
I watched this guy drink a Guinness. Right?
I violated dry January. I got to make up a day.
No, I would just.
What did you violate it?
So, actually happened twice.
I think the only logical answer is that you're not allowed to drink during the Super Bowl.
No.
No, that doesn't sound right.
I think I have an alternative.
But, no, it was two things. Like we had, Kyle's on, but my wife's on. Her on Verge Neural Services. The dinner that followed, I had a drink at that, and then my uncle retired from the Air Force on Saturday.
Saw that.
I had a big celebration for him, so I drank at that.
Okay. Not acceptable answers, mind you, but okay.
So yeah,
I would just abandon it all entirely. Get into some hard liquor, just kind of roll with it.
just get real weird with it.
Yeah.
Just do dry November.
It's less days.
Or you could do dry, normal weeknights that are like a Tuesday to Thursday.
What are you missing by doing dry? But think about it. Dry November. You just can't drink on Thanksgiving. Big whoop. January, you miss all the playoff games.
Well, also to be honest with you, generally that wasn't really too much of a concern For the last 6 years.
I think what we need to do, Kendall, is I think you need to invite everybody over, including Ty and James, but not Mock, so we can just do shots for the Giants game.
That'd be real fun.
You should invite Marissa, though. She's drinking, right?
I mean, yes. Doesn't drink much anyway.
Toast of excellence?
I got one.
I have one.
Mock, would you like to go first?
It doesn't matter to me.
I'd like to go
Alright.
first.
You want to go first?
Did anybody? Yeah, I'm just gonna say, if I take it, fuck off.
Wow.
My toast of excellence is to Damar Hamlin for his recovery from his injury on Monday night.
Isn't it crazy that happened live on our show? Like we were watching.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, me and Massey were watching it. I don't think anybody else was, but
We have our live reactions to that.
yeah, it was pretty fucking bananas, like watching it happen.
Yeah.
You got shipped back to Buffalo today, right?
He didn't get shipped back, Kyle. He took
He just
fucking
went
flight.
back to Buffalo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
wanted to clarify there's no packing peanuts involved.
I'm pretty
DHL showed up. Like, get in.
sure there's no U.S. priority box big enough.
Oh, very funny.
My toast is the Giants making the playoffs. I
Again.
toasted last week, but we found out that they're the only team represented on the show in the playoffs.
See that? He just wanted to stick the knife deep into the back.
Yeah, that felt good.
Hey, is what it is. Giants sucked for a long time.
Gonna be one and done. Sorry, it just came out.
Okay, that's fine. Doesn't matter at all.
It's a lot better than what people thought they were going to do this year. My toast of excellence is to Joe Mixon. Did any of you guys see this?
I don't believe so.
It's a celebration.
Yeah. So I thought it was very funny. On Sunday, he scored the first touchdown. His touchdown celebration was to take a coin out of his left shoe and flip it.
Oh, because of what the resulting...
Yes. Which I thought was just top tier level petty, and I was all here for it.
Also, I guess that was a thing from Ocho Cinco.
Ocho Cinco did that?
No. He tweeted out a thing like, "Oh, if y'all still love me, celebrate with a coin flip."
Oh, okay.
Well, that's because Ocho Cinco did the cell phone thing.
He did the cell phone.
No, that was Joe Horn.
Ocho Cinco did it too. He hit his cell phone underneath the goalpost padding.
Oh, then Joe Horn was the person that was running. I'm sorry.
Who was the one with the Sharpie? Was that Ocho Cinco?
No,
or Tio?
that was T.O.
That was T.O.
That's like a favorite of mine.
On a flip note, a complete change of the guard. Not that it was done intentionally, but how about the Steelers with their celebration?
I didn't
right?
see the celebration.
Those fucking douchebags.
The fucking T.J. Watt got a sack, and Cam Hayward because T.J. Watt was laying on the ground, so Cam Hayward came on and did chest compressions to him.
Oh, what the fuck!
I mean, it clearly wasn't meant to be malicious. It was I've seen them do that before, but just bad timing.
Stay classy, Pittsburgh.
Hey, come
Yeah,
on,
your
guys,
boy
read the
celebrating
room.
the death of Nick Foles.
Hey, he didn't know.
Oh, okay.
He was literally right next to him.
It's the first time he didn't know.
I would say I don't care so much about the angel part. It's more so the Nick Foles being stretchered off the field than him pointing at Nick Foles and doing the going to sleep celebration.
That part was bad.
Yeah, I defended Thibodeau for the first 35 minutes of that
That
celebration.
part was not so great.
That part wasn't good.
Enjoy your playoff berth. I hope you're just as happy when that guy gets arrested in 2 years for domestic abuse.
Hey, whatever.
I don't think you're going to have the same reaction then.
And that's just part of being an NFL defensive end.
Imagine Mock going on record and oh, this guy got arrested for domestic abuse. The 2022 playoff berth was worth it.
He tweets it out.
If it means going to the playoffs, give me Greg Hardy.
I don't want
Jesus.
He wants Greg Hardy. He wants Ray Rice. Give them all times.
that. Ray Rice didn't get a fair shake.
You haymaker to somebody.
Yeah, his wife.
Yeah, she might have deserved it. We don't know.
Watch the whole video.
I have 3 toasts of excellence, all football related.
Okay.
One is to Lovie Smith for still looking out for his own.
Yep.
You know, knowing he was getting fired, so he said "fuck you" to the Texans and blew their chance at the first overall pick. And,
I like how he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to have a job this year."
Well, he knew, like, they had a meeting earlier in the week, but like details weren't disclosed, so you knew it was we're going to go in a different direction.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Why an NFL franchise would ever do that is so stupid.
It's the Texans.
No, but other NFL franchises have done it too. You know what I mean?
Well, yes.
It's not like I'm just
But
saying.
they're
Like,
also probably stupid too.
the other one is to Mike Tomlin for, despite coming up short in the playoff effort, continuing his streak of never having a losing season after beating the Browns.
16 seasons. That's unreal.
Guy's the Undertaker of the NFL. And my last toast of excellence is to this guy named Tony Posnasky for the tweet of the year in terms of NFL standards. I'm
Which
not
one
sure.
was this?
Did any of you guys watch the Packers-Lions game?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I watched it.
Did you guys see rookie linebacker Quay Walker get ejected for pushing one of the
When the
Yeah.
snappers? Yes.
so he tweeted right after that happened, he tweeted, "In his spare time, Quay Walker spends his time in the Green Bay community making sure firefighters can't put out fires." It's made me
Actually pretty funny.
real fucking hard. Thought that was super funny.
Packers are bad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that my toast is to Detroit playing spoiler Green Bay. I enjoyed that immensely.
Well, the thing is, like, I know it'll never happen from a money standpoint because there's just too much money in like primetime football. But the way the NFL does the last week of football is a complete joke. It's absolutely bullshit the way that they do it.
In terms of
So when the last series of, and Kyle can back it up, the last series of MLB baseball, all the teams are playing at the exact same time, so they don't know what's going on.
oh, gotcha.
In the NFL, they try to do it, like the Dolphins, the Patriots, and the Steelers were all playing. But like then you had the Seahawks playing, and then because of the Green Bay potential, you put them in the Sunday night game, and so Seattle ended up winning, and Detroit now knew they had nothing to play for. And like, while it's still made for an entertaining game from TV purposes, like Detroit knew during warmups that their season was over, and so like Detroit could have, if they chose to, gone out and played with no emphasis, no mojo. I mean, the lucky thing from the NFL standpoint is that it's always division games, so someone always wants to go out and hurt somebody. But from this, like, the Lions could have lost everything. Like, they could have went out and played with no motivation at all, and Green Bay could have steamrolled them, 32-7, and that would have been the final primetime game of the season. And it was because the NFL fucked up their scheduling. The NFL was stupid. The NFL, I mean, in part, it was NBC's fault because NBC was like, we don't want Titans Jaguars. But that should have, the NFL.
Yeah, that should have been the game.
That should have been the Sunday night game.
Because it was really.
That's determining who gets in.
Yeah, it was the
one and done.
Right.
It was a solo game. That should have been it. And then, like, the Saturday night game should have been, or you know what else? Like, the Sunday night game should have been Cincinnati and Baltimore. It's a game that, like, it means something, but it doesn't mean anything to anybody but them. Because, like, the Ravens were in. Yes, they could have flopped spots if the Chargers won or lost and they won or lost, but it didn't change who was making the playoffs. And then how like big would it have been the final game of the season? The Ravens win and they have to do a coin toss to determine the, you know what I mean? Like, but like instead you did it because it was fucking Aaron Rodgers. You did this thing where like another team had already played and determined the outcome of another team.
Right.
It's just bad. It's bad. It's bad scheduling. The NFL does it every year, and it's just so stupid.
yeah.
I have another toast of excellence.
Oh, is it to all the people that are making memes? Because like, you know how there's like week 18 is considered incentive week?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, like
Kenny Galladay ones?
all the Kenny Galladay ones are so funny. I tell you what, though, it's what made me laugh even harder, though, is like Kenny Galladay finished just 74 catches short of his incentive bonus. What makes me laugh even harder than that are all the ones that I know are so true, are all the Giants fans. And someone was like, Giants fans right now, and it was a meme of a bunch of people going bananas in a fucking locker room spraying champagne, and underneath it was like Giants fans when Kenny Golladay finally has one good game and a meaningless effort. And then it was another one where it was like a bunch of this one made me laugh so hard. It was Giants fans putting it was like I forgot, I meant to save it, but it was a private account, so I couldn't and they deleted it because I tried to send it to you guys and I ended up not being able to. And then when I got back to the page, it was gone. But it was a Giants fan opening up a book called Cowboys Playbook. And it had him ripping out a page of it saying, "You aren't ready for postseason Golladay." And instead of Golladay, they crossed off Prescott. I thought it was so funny. There are so many Giants fans that are like saying that right now, like, "Oh, the postseason's not ready for Golladay."
I tell you, I mean, it would be cool if he could be like, "Hey, I'll be a good receiver now." I was just joshing with you guys
for a year.
I didn't want to get burned out too fast.
I was just saving myself
for when we were good.
Hey, Mark.
Yes.
I gotta see. What's the bracket? The NFL bracket. You guys are playing the Vikings, and then you guys end up playing the winner of what? Seahawks, Niners. I think is what it is.
I mean, it depends on
what
happens.
It depends on So if the Giants were to make it to the NFC Championship game and lose, who leaves a worse taste in your mouth? Cowboys, Eagles, or Brady?
Honestly, probably the Cowboys.
So the Giants just get to the NFC Championship game and then just one of the three of them. Just like fuck.
Yeah, it's kind of some rough numbers.
Because I don't think Dak Prescott is that good. I mean, the Cowboys, they won a lot of games and whatnot. I don't know. I don't think they're that great.
Real deal in the NFC.
Sorry?
I think the 49ers are the only real deal in the NFC.
Yeah,
Can we not talk about that?
No, but I'm not saying it to be like malicious towards UMass. I'm just saying
No. I don't want to stomach the thought.
It's just I think that here's the thing. I don't think they're going to go to the Super Bowl because I think
I do
run out. But they've got playmakers. They've got a good running back. Their offensive line's decent. They've got a good head coach. They've got a great defense. Like they pretty much have every piece you need. And then everybody else has some major flaw in their game that like you could definitely be like, oh yeah, that's definitely going to ruin the season. And I don't know, it's just like the NFC just like so. I just feel like the NFC playoffs, like they're not going to be boring. They're going to be exciting, but it's just going to be like, who cares? Just show me who's going to the AFC.
Yeah, I mean, Cowboys definitely cooled off.
No, they didn't cool off, man.
There never was. They're not that good.
You're just not ready.
I don't think they're that good. And I know they won a lot of games this year, and they beat up on some teams. But I don't know. Like, Prescott, I don't think is convincing at all.
This is not good.
And the receivers or whatever, besides CeeDee Lamb.
I say CeeDee Lamb's pretty good. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, the Giants losing to the Cowboys would definitely annoy me more than like if they lost to Brady. But again, I mean, to me, it doesn't even really matter what they do in the playoffs. The Giants, just happy to be there.
You're playing the Vikings, right?
Yeah,
you could beat them. They have no fucking defense.
I think so too. Again, like I mean, Paul just kind of hit the nail. I don't think there's really a team in the NFC other than really maybe the Niners, but I think the Giants can at least contend with anybody. You know, again, the Giants aren't a team that's going to go in and blow anybody out, but
I hope you guys are the team from the NFC to go to the Super Bowl.
It'd be real cool.
If they go, you got to get a Golladay jersey, though. That's the rule. And it's got to be a red one.
Oh, no.
A discontinued jersey that he himself has not even worn.
White and red ones are gross, too.
Wait, the older uniform?
Like the away uniforms.
Because like the Color Rush white ones, I think are sick.
I guess he means
like
that one.
white. Red jerseys are fucking terrible.
Yeah, that was like a mistake. That's like they had like a red sock go in the laundry and turned all the jerseys. It was like, oh, we can do something with this.
Bad joke, Kendall.
I mean, it was all right.
I was kind of just gonna let him bask in it, Kyle.
Well, it's better than posing a question and then not answering a guy. Souls.
Hey, suck a cock, bro. Anyways, what do you guys think?
You can't just do that. You can't just like diss somebody and then be like, oh, anyways.
Yeah, I can. I just did.
Nope.
Bitch.
Nope.
Anyways.
What do
you think would be the best playoff game of the first round?
None of your suggestions. Anyways, see, how does it feel?
I don't care, Kendall. I already got. Who cares what I say?
Can you repeat the question?
What do you think is going to be the best game out of opening playoff weekend?
I think it's Bengals Ravens if Lamar plays.
I'd watch.
I don't either. Like that could be such a hit or miss because I mean, even if Lamar plays, he's usually just complete trash in the playoffs.
Is also true.
I understand that, but I also think that it'll be exciting from the standpoint of Lamar will have fresh legs going into it.
Again, that's what I'm saying. Like, it could be either a really great and like entertaining game, or it'll be a Bengals blowing them out.
Well, I mean, I think you could say that for every game.
I personally think the Chargers Jaguar game will be all right. Because Jaguars are decent on offense, but the Chargers defense can't stop anybody.
Hey, here's your warning.
I mean,
go get Christian Kirk before he goes off for 300 yards.
The Jaguars honestly are a team like I wouldn't if I'm in an AFC team, I wouldn't really want to play them right now.
No.
I mean, they're a team that like kind of was whatever till about halfway through the season.
And they were no longer whatever.
And then got hot. Like they were able to get in, and if they can keep the hot streak going, I mean they're playing well. It's funny to think that it's just Urban Meyer that was the problem there.
I mean, Doug Peterson's a good head coach too.
Yes, but you figured they had the first round pick the first overall 2 years in a row under Urban. Hire him, new coach in, and playoff berth.
Yeah,
I mean, they also did a lot of free agency too. But yes, I see your point. They had the core there and could have done more.
I think too. I think there's. Oh, go ahead, Mark.
All right, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that Doug, but he's kind of like that, like the rah guy, kind of like the Dan Campbell thing. And I think certain teams that they really respond to that, and I think Jacksonville kind of being on the younger side, we'll call it. I think that's like a perfect scenario for them.
I was thinking about this today, Max, because you were talking about McVay leaving.
Can we go back to talking about the 49ers?
So I thought of it, and at first I was like, it is what it is. He's young if he wants to do other things. But I was like, well, it's kind of shitty that. I mean, I'm sure he was somewhat involved in trading away every draft pick for the next 30 years. Like, nah, we're bad now. I'm out.
Next year is the only year we don't have one. We're back to it after that.
So you haven't had one for the last 30 years.
Right. We got a Super Bowl.
That it's just like, hey, here's my first kind of bad season since coming in, and I might retire now.
Well, remember, they did talk about it right after the Super Bowl last year, too.
Yeah, it came up last year, I know. Didn't he come out and say like he was going to stay till Donald and Stafford and them were leaving?
Yes, but I think he's dealt with a lot this season, like personal stuff, not so much the game. That's really started to affect him. I mean, I hope he comes back for one more year at least. And we'll still have the rights to him after he retires.
Right, just like how the Saints had to ask permission to interview Sean Payton.
Yeah. But I would hope that if the coach chose to retire and it wasn't because of it being a bad season, he just needed to take a break, he would come back the next time we had a vacancy. That'd be pretty cool.
How long of a window would you be willing to be good with that?
What, knowing that he's gone and then we'll be back in so many amount of years?
Yeah, like is there like a amount of time that you'd be willing, or is that just kind of like, hey, you win a Super Bowl, you were forever welcome in the...
Oh, forever welcome. He's going to go down as the greatest coach in Rams history.
Well, second greatest.
Jeff Fisher's still the greatest.
Man, thank you, Kyle. Cue that one up. I was hoping someone would take it.
I was going to say it if he didn't.
Jeff Fisher's going to be the replacement of Sean McVay.
Man, could you imagine that?
It'd be hilarious.
It'd be so funny.
It'd be awesome. Guys, I built this team.
Comes back as a blonde mustache.
Comes back with no mustache.
I don't want that.
Yeah, he's forever welcome. The only thing that I worry about, and I don't think I actually have to worry about it with him as much, is I worry that some of the schemes in his offense and everything would be a little bit outdated. But I think he would learn enough from the game to be able to come back full strength. I don't know. It is what it is at this point. There's nothing anybody can do but him. And he's going one way or the other. If it's not this year, it's in 2 years. And
It was still in concussion protocol.
who's?
Tua. That game is going to be dreadful.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know if you saw, but Mike Glennon was signed by the Dolphins.
I did not see that.
Yeah. Mike Glennon going to start the playoff game?
Real funny.
Dolphins legend Mike
That-
Glennon.
That
Nah,
kid is
Giants
fucking
legend.
terrible.
It's one of those. I mean, it's either going to be better, but I mean, we've seen spot starts where it pans out.
Yep.
Don't know.
You never know.
Oh, you know.
I mean, you know, but you never know.
I wonder who's somebody who's just like recently retired enough that could come back in 3 days' time and start the game.
Brett Favre.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick, I would say, is a good one up there.
Drew-
Drew Brees. But he's
Peyton
under
Manning
contract
in
with
there.
the Saints, isn't he?
What's that?
Isn't Drew Brees still under contract with the Saints, technically?
That I don't know.
Smoking Jay.
Oh man, that'd be awesome.
That'd be pretty cool. But the last time we made a comeback from the booth, it didn't go so great.
Jaws. Ron Jaworski.
Here comes 71-year-old Ron Jaworski.
What?
When was Smoking Jay ever in the booth?
He was an announcer.
Yeah.
A year.
For what?
The year that he came back and played for the Dolphins.
Who the fuck was he broadcasting for, and why did I not know that?
I think Fox.
I want to say CBS, but I could be wrong.
I think it was
Hold on, I'll
Camel
look it up.
TV.
Smokin' Jay.
Yeah, he announced for a year, and then came out of retirement to go to the Dolphins.
He wasn't even in broadcasting for a year. They signed him out of on his first year out. Let's see.
I do not remember him calling a game.
He was hired by Fox Sports to be a commentator.
Did he ever do a game?
Yeah.
I think he did a Bears game. It's like national championships, a blowout too.
Is it?
24-7, 8 minutes left in the second quarter.
Who's up?
Georgia. Hope my kid's listening because we're talking about college football.
Correction. Cutler didn't actually end up in the booth. He was supposed to. Cutler would have been featured in a 3-person booth joining Kevin Burkhardt and Charles Davis Gross, but he would have been the number 2 analyst behind Troy Aikman. So it sounds like he put out a interview last year where he said he wants to get back into the booth. So that might be something that comes up again for him.
He called games, though. I remember him doing it.
He signed a deal with the Miami Dolphins.
Well, I wonder if he ever did the thing like
remember Greg Olsen?
Greg Olsen.
I thought that was so cool.
Used to like announce during what was it, like his bye week or whatever?
He would just call a game during his bye week.
Yeah, because I remember Cutler calling it. Like I remember seeing him. Maybe he was like on the side. I remember seeing him like commentate.
I don't remember this at all.
Well, I mean, I'd be definitely in if he wants to get into it. I'd be down.
If Kendall's on board.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like the bar for that type of stuff.
It's great, you know. We're watching the games the other night, and I was like, man, another season like came and went.
Yeah.
Yep.
He most certainly did.
What's that really lame quote? Don't be sad that it's gone, be happy.
Shut up.
The season always goes by faster when you're happy with it. I was ready for it to end after week 1. I feel the way about the football season that people feel about baseball season. I feel like it drags on forever. Like now it's going to extend to another fucking week in the next few years. It's just be like fucking September 1st because they want to go to 18 games and they want to get rid of the preseason. So it'll be fucking September 1st all the way through the end of January. Full month of playoffs in February. So fucking long. It just makes me laugh because it's like, what is it? January, so September, October, November, December, January, so 5. And then what? Just thinking out loud, sorry.
It's fine. Continue.
It takes the MLB 1 extra month to play 160 more games.
Well, I think we talked about it, I think at the end of last year, and I kind of agreed with what you said, and it's because that you can't escape it. Because even when, after the Super Bowl is over, and that a couple days after the Super Bowl, it's just then all the analysts, they're gearing up for the draft. And then it's all that, and then after the draft passes, then it's like, okay, it's X amount of time until, training camp opens and organized team activities. And then that happens, and then it's August 1st, and then it's like, oh, the season's only a month away, and then we're right back at it. So there's not really a time to decompress. I get that, and I kind of agree. I love football as much as you guys, but I understand. I get it. Massey, I'm sorry, I missed the diss. What would you say?
I was being an asshole. I said no, you didn't.
Oh, that's right. I'm a fraud.
He said something pretty disparaging about your mother.
Whoa.
That's not true.
Yeah, that's Kyle's department.
Okay. You just open up a can of worms, bitch. Hey, Mock. PJ Higgins elected free agency.
Did he?
Yeah, he got designated for assignment.
That's interesting. Last thing I saw, he was projected starter.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
It's strange because, I mean, he was playing well for the Cubs.
Yeah, he really struggled towards the end, though. Had like 212. So where do you think Correa goes?
The Mets.
Braves.
Giants.
Oh, man, imagine that. Bring him back again?
I still believe, after all this, dust settles, I think it'll still be the Mets who sign him.
No, he's going to go to the Braves.
Would be a bummer. I mean,
He's going to go to the Braves, and he's going to be really good for 10 years.
yeah, because that will for sure happen. He'll shake off all those injuries and really get it together. Finally, bat over 300, and it will just stick in my craw.
Stick in my craw.
Yeah, I gotta be honest.
Watching
I don't know what that
I
means.
love the meme from Moneyball. Showed Jonah Hill talking to Brad. He's like, if we wait long enough, we can get Carrera. That whole thing, I think that it's kind of funny. It also got really annoying.
I just thought it was,
Seriously wrong with his fucking whatever it is.
I mean,
I heard leg, but it could be something else.
I just thought it'd be over by now.
I've heard either leg or back. Like I've
Yeah.
heard two different things. And I mean, it is. No, I mean he missed time because of a leg injury, so I could see, teams kind of questioning it.
You know where he's going to go?
just-
Somehow he's going to end up in Houston. Imagine that. 'Cause
It'd
they're
be
not
annoying,
great.
but it'd be funny.
They're pretty good. They're a pretty good team.
Wasn't he already there?
Yeah, he left and went to Minnesota.
Okay. Did you-
I think like if it will be interesting, like if he has to take less money, like if the opt out was the bad move.
Well, I mean,
He signed a pretty big deal with. He was in Minnesota, right?
yeah.
Yep.
He signed a big deal with them and then opted out a year in, 2 years in.
Through Korea?
Yeah.
I thought he only signed a 1-year deal with it.
He had a bunch of options. Like he could have opted into the
So, I
opted
mean,
in another
it was
year.
long, but he had a bunch of player options.
Hey guys, I'd like to opt back into that.
But kidding.
My leg's feeling better.
I just wanted to go to New York and San Francisco for a little while. I didn't think you guys would let me.
I do think it is kind of crazy, and it's in any sport. Like, don't announce the contracts until they pass the physical.
Yeah,
Just wait another day.
I agree. I think part of it is just because there's so much access to information, and it's
But
stupid.
it shouldn't even get out. Like the agents,
No, you're absolutely right.
It shouldn't come out.
I agree.
It's the whole thing.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looks stupid for the Mets because I mean you have your owner with the one tweeting the initial information, and if you don't get the deal done, then it's like, well, what are you doing?
It's a strange thing. I mean, I get the report. Everyone wants to be the first
To break the
one to
news.
put the info out.
Yeah.
I get it, but they should just have to wait till it's done.
Yeah, I totally agree.
C'est
What
la
do you
vie.
got for us?
What do I got?
Yeah.
Trevor Bauer. Where's he going?
Nowhere.
Banana bananas.
I know. I think he could.
I don't know if any MLB team touches him.
Be a cool brand, ML Bean. Be like a crossover. And it's cool.
I don't think any franchise is going to touch him. And I mean, kind of rightfully so. But I don't think he'll be back.
I think he'll be back eventually.
But I mean, what eventually? Next year?
No, because he's reinstated. I think he makes an appearance at some point this year. He's been throwing, and he's still in game shape and all that stuff.
I don't think his shape matters.
It will
Probably
when
more
somebody's
about-
desperate for a starter. There's nobody left.
I think I unfortunately agree with Kyle. I think there's a team out there that's douchebaggy enough to pick him up.
I don't know. I don't think we see him.
He's just a freaky guy, you know? That's all he is. Freaky guy.
Yeah. Beat that lady up pretty good.
She probably liked it.
It's an interesting
what,
take.
That's what the rumor is, that they agreed to it. He just did it a little too much harder than he was supposed to.
I think we've ventured into probably a discussion prop here.
we need a bailout.
I mean, people talk about it. Not a big fucking. We talk about it. But like a team like the Angels, why wouldn't they take a shot? They have to lose.
That actually might help the Angels.
Angels need pitching in the worst way.
And they also need to try and dissuade their fans right now because they're trying to move.
And they just suck.
What's the story with that mess?
What?
The Angels.
I saw something here. Let me see if I can go digging for it real quick.
Because I feel like I'd seen that in passing, but there wasn't anything that was specific. It was just hey, we're thinking about it.
Houston's looking at Trevor Bauer.
Oh,
Houston.
and they'd be the douchebags.
Yep, see? Told you.
He hates them. It's gonna be so funny if you see it.
Wait, did we
I
talk
mean-
about Rafael Devers?
His contract.
Yeah.
I
don't
mean,
know.
it's a signing. It's a good signing, and it's something the Red Sox absolutely had to do.
I mean, the money was desperate.
I mean, it's a lot of money, but I mean, he is a very good player.
You think he's a franchise player?
I think he can be.
You can build around him.
I think he can. He's a good bat and he's a good field. I mean, he's an all around player. He's a cornerstone third base.
Why do you love Red Sox players?
I don't, but I mean, I can admit if they're good.
But you do
He's a fucking Yankee killer. I was pretty bummed he stayed with the Reds. I thought he would, I was hoping he would leave, but I can admit if he's a good ball player.
I think the Red Sox panicked a little bit.
I mean, they were negotiating anyway, but especially after the backlash of letting Bogarts leave, they had to re-sign him.
I don't think Bogarts was ever coming back.
If things were handled differently, maybe. I mean, they lowballed the shit out of him twice, and then kind of shut down the I think the GM kind of botched the negotiations with Bogarts. But again, if they re-sign him, I was kind of in the camp that they were only going to be able to keep one of them, depending on how they wanted to handle the luxury tax. But Bogarts leaves, there was no choice but to re-sign Devers. if Devers ends up leaving, because I mean he was signed for 1 year. If it didn't work out again and he leaves the following year, I mean the Red Sox fans would have went freaking ballistic.
They need to get rid of that fucking GM.
I forgot to toast.
What's up?
Did you guys see the Anaheim Ducks Boston Bruins game last night in Anaheim?
No.
So it's the Bruins, and the Bruins are playing the Ducks in Anaheim, not in Boston. In Anaheim. Full capacity crowd, middle of the second period, and just a giant "fuck the Yankees" chant starts.
Hilarious.
It's funny how often that happens at other sports.
Fuck, let me ask you a question.
What's up?
You think the Yankees got a lot better this offseason?
I mean, I think they got better. Of course, I mean, re-signing Judge is big, but that doesn't make them better because he was there last year. But adding Rondon, I think is definitely an improvement. I think there's still some work to be done.
They did nothing else offensively.
They got Rendon.
Rodon,
sorry.
What?
But again, like offensively,
they're old.
yes. I think there's still going to be something done. I mean, whether they trade for what's his name, Reynolds. I think there'll still be something done, but again, I mean, they're a team that scored a lot of runs. I know Judge was a big component to that, but the pitching, I think, was a higher priority. I think they'll still be good. The big hope is that Judge's season wasn't like a fluke.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's a fluke, but I don't think he's going to have that season again.
Just fine. I mean, I don't think anyone's expecting him to hit 60 home runs a year, but if he hits 6 and then comes out next year and has 20, and if he's a 20 home run guy, I mean, then that's a big. Oh, but you hope that he has 35 to 40 a year for the next at least 5 years.
What are you talking about?
Judge.
Okay.
Well, I think the only thing that obviously would prevent him from doing that would be injury. Because, I mean, I don't think it's his physical, ability, and I think the ballpark certainly helps. Ballparks that they play in helps, for sure.
He, and that's it's just the thing that's been very frustrating with the Yankees the last 10, 12 years is like the no, not even because it's not fully on cash. Again, like any GM, the GM answers to the owners, and to me, it seems like they're willing to get kind of close, and then they back off. Like they won't. Where like George Steinbrenner, he never was like, let's get it close and we'll see what happens. He went over the top, bring in anybody and everybody. Put it over
30?
the top
Here's
and
50.
and string a couple titles out of it. But the Steinbrenner kids don't do that, which I guess is financially smarter, but it's prevented them from beating Houston and it just. To me, the last few they've always been like that one move short of taking the push.
Yeah. Well, it's because the kids see it not as a baseball team anymore, but as like a corporation more than anything else.
It's a business.
Yeah.
It's business. I mean, at the end, it's a business. It's what it is. However you look at it, it's a business. On the same side of it, I mean, we say it with the Dodgers. They spend a ton of money. If you win a World Series, the money spent doesn't matter.
No.
Right.
You've made it back tenfold. You know, and they get like right to the edge, but they won't take that final leap. You know, they don't. It happened at like the deadline last year. They missed out on who's the pitcher? I think he went to Seattle. I know they got Montes, but there was the other guy. I can't think of his name.
Harrison
Who's the other
Bader.
big? Say it again.
Harrison Bader.
Oh no, the Yankees didn't get. There was another pitcher, like the Yankees were in on, and he ended. I think he got traded to Seattle.
Oh, Luis Castillo.
Yes. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason they miss on both on him. Like, it's just they didn't want to beat the offer, which is, you know, as a fan, it's frustrating, but you know, it is what it is. Did you go to Seattle, Kyle? Did I have that right?
Yeah, he went to Seattle, and he fucking killed it, too.
That's what I mean. No, and Montes came to New York and did not.
Yeah, but people are so high on that kid, and he hasn't really put it all together once. He walks a lot of guys. That's what's going to happen.
That's what I'm saying, is that they got the cheaper guy, and it cost them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they paid up a little more and you bring in Castillo, and again, not there's no saying that Castillo would have done the same thing in New York, because you know there's plenty of players that have come to New York and they don't perform the same way they do on other teams. But I think he was the better option and a little more proven.
Maybe the Yankees didn't get the guarantee that he was going to re-sign either, because he was a free agent coming up after this year.
You know, even that's the MLB trade deadline. It's rentals.
Yeah, Phillies had a lot of.
It's rentals.
They're all gone.
That's what happens. And again, if it generates a championship, it's all worth it. You know, and I know it's a risk, but I mean, look at compared to like the Rams. The Rams mortgaged the future. Won a Super Bowl, so it doesn't matter.
Right. No one looks back like, oh, but they spent X amount of money. Like, irrelevant.
Oh, no, people still do that right now.
Well, they're going to do it because now's the shit part of it. But guess what? Last year, no one would say, oh, no, but our draft picks, you guys had a parade because you won a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Like, that makes it all worth it. So it is what it is. I mean, you end up with a couple and the Rams, I mean, I don't think they're going to be down long. There's talent on, you know, they got beat up this year, but yeah, like they're one of the teams they can figure it out. The Yankees, the Steinbrenners just haven't been willing to just go over the edge and like overload to bring home a World Series.
They'll go after people past their prime to try to get like some juice left in them, like Josh Donaldson. They did that a couple times.
I'm sorry. I mean, Kyle, I know you and I disagree. I think they need to get rid of Chapman.
Chapman's already gone. He's a free agent.
Is he?
Yep.
Good.
Nobody signed him.
That's right. Even that. Like, you could have traded him for anything. Get anything for him.
But
they would have brought him in.
Anything to upgrade their bullpen. Their bullpen was a very weak point of that team, and they have done nothing.
No, I mean, there were some guys that got hurt.
Like Clay Holmes, I'm sorry,
fell apart.
Yeah, everybody thought he was going to keep it up the way he was pitching, which is absurd.
Hey,
what he did towards the end is who he is.
Quick sidebar, just because you mentioned his name. Did you guys see the video of Josh Donaldson doing the bat flips, and like all of them are
real funny stuff.
All like really short.
It was him bat flipping hits that weren't home runs.
Oh, that's very funny.
Some are just like not even close. It's so good.
Herrera did that a lot.
The ones that are actually even more funny than the ones that get caught are the ones that turn out to be ground rule doubles.
Yeah.
That guy
I
doesn't
know
have
why
a job.
that rule exists, but I hate it. Hate the ground rule double.
You know, they
What are they
should.
supposed to be?
They throw another
Listen,
ball in.
It's the best case scenario. I get it. They got the rule right. I just don't like it.
What is the rule?
Like if a fly ball or line drive like bounces in the outfield and then bounces over the fence,
Oh,
out of play, it's a ground
Listen,
rule double.
I think Paul will back me up here. When that happens, a guy in the dugout throws in another ball. You don't know who's going to throw it, and then you continue play. So you kind of have to just be on your toes.
I don't back you.
All right, I'm alone here.
That's it. The guy should go in the crowd, get the ball.
I mean, that'd be pretty funny.
I think what they should do instead is, if you hit a ground rule double, you can elect one of two options. You can either take it as a single, because you put the ball in play, so you should have the option of being awarded a base. So it's either a single, or you can start the at bat over fresh count.
Could you imagine? He's electing a fresh at bat.
I also think it'd be funny is if you don't call it a double, call it a single and then a stolen base.
All right, I can dig that.
Could you imagine? The runner's electing to steal his base.
Albert Pujols has 72 stolen bases this year.
He just
Tell you
starts
what.
walking.
It'd be ridiculous if he had 72 ground rule doubles. I mean, they don't happen super often.
No, I just said a number.
It would just be fun. He shattered his career best. Wouldn't it be funny if he came back for another year?
The way he played at the end of last year, I'm surprised he didn't.
I think he knew he was done.
Yeah, Miguel Cabrera's done.
He hang it up too, officially?
He's hanging it up this year.
So this season's his last one?
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't going to miss
Do you
out on
have
those
any
gifts.
like milestones coming up?
I'm sure. I don't know if he got the 3,000 hits.
Got that last season.
Did he? Did he get the
'Cause I remember
500
It was a
home
big
run?
deal that like he got that. Pujols got the home run. Like we all
Did
got
he
it
get
in the same year.
Did he get the 500 home runs?
That one I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know how close he was to it though.
Oh, he's at 507.
So he did.
So that guy's a Hall of Famer already.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Hey, speaking of Hall of Famers, I saw this debate going on online last night. I'm curious to hear your guys' input, even though I think I know the answer. John McVay retires right now. Is he a Hall of Fame coach?
No.
No. I mean, he only coached, 5 years?
Yeah.
Oh, he's got the Super Bowl, but I don't think so.
I don't have a dog in this race either way. I personally don't think so, but I was just curious because a lot of people are arguing that.
My gut reaction would be no, but I'd be curious to know if there's been other Hall of Fame coaches who've had a similar length of career. And I mean, McVay certainly has a higher winning than loss percentage. So if there was something similar there, then I'd say yes. But without knowing,
It's like Terrell Davis. He only played 6 years and he got in. Bullshit.
You think Devin has
Yes, I think he's in.
Did he already get in?
No. Last year was year of eligibility, and he was a finalist, but he didn't get in. He made it to
I
the
think he gets
finals
in.
in this year.
Hester, yes. And I think Davis deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, but he got injured. I mean, it's not his fault. I mean, he had quality seasons, rushed for 2,000 yards, won 2 Super Bowls.
All right, so when can we start implementing the length of coaching for the Hall of Fame?
Well, MS. It really bothers me that people think Devin Hester doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame.
Bothers me too.
Like, it bothers me a whole lot, not from the standpoint of, like, it doesn't even have to do with the fact that he broke Deion Sanders' return touchdown record, because, like, realistically, that's a record that there are, like, a billion ways to break. You know, I mean, like, I think it's impressive that he did it as an offensive player, because it means he wasn't out there for defensive snaps to have interceptions and fumble returns like Deion Sanders was. But, like, it's a record that, like, you know, it can be broken again. You know, you see in the NFL, like, you look at a player like a, you know, you just look at, like, a fast player like a Tyreek Hill, but, like, a defensive version of that. Like, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head, but, like, you know, somebody that plays corner or safety, and they're going to get a look at one or two a year and on defense, and they're going to, you know, they might get a look at a couple over the course of a year for kick and punt returns. So, you know, like, the chances are there, especially if they stay healthy and play 12, 13 years or whatever. But it's just more so like he was kind of like the first, like, kick returner that, like, people, like, you know, like, they treated like shutdown corners, and they were like, okay, I'd rather kick the ball out of bounds and let them start at the 40 than even let him touch the ball. Like, he changed the way the game was played, and in my opinion, like, if you do that, you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I don't understand what's the argument against. I what could you possibly say?
I mean, the only thing I could guess is, like, he wasn't a good receiver.
It's just that, like, it's like the kicker aspect. Like, a lot of people don't think kickers belong in the Hall of Fame because while they are important to the game and they matter in a lot of the outcomes and things like that, like, what minuscule compared to everything else. Like, yeah, like, having, like, a good kicker is great, but, you know, it's like, you know, there's a lot of people that think, like, Justin Tucker's career is the equivalent of, like, Phillip Rivers' quarterbacking career. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that. It's a similar impact. You know what I mean? Like, it's like he was good, but, like, Justin Tucker would have been nothing if it wasn't for, you know, Joe Flacco's good season, Lamar Jackson's MVP season, the defense, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? It's like there's just people that think that way, and, like, whatever. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Like, do I think that, like, Josh Cribbs
fuck themselves?
Do I think Cribbs, Jerome Simpson, Darrell Patterson belong in the Fame? No, but, like, you know, fucking, like, Devin Hester, like, completely, like, revitalized, like, a position that no one cared about. Like, until Devin Hester came along, people didn't watch special teams. Like, that was when the kickoff happened. Like, you know, after a team scored a touchdown, like, that's when you went to the fridge to get a beer, and you're like, oh, they must have had a good return. They're starting at the 35. When Devin Hester was playing, people had their fucking cell phones out and were recording.
Did Dante Hall get in? No, right?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Because he was like the Devin Hester before Devin Hester.
Yeah, I mean, he was the return guy of that era for sure. I don't know off the top of his head. Hester was he was punt and kick return. I don't know. Was he kind of a one or the other? I don't really remember.
I'm sure he did both. He didn't really do much of the receiving. So.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. It doesn't reflect anything.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about Hester, especially in his youth. He was like, hey, guys, returning punts and kicks. I just don't remember because we were a little bit younger when Hall was playing. So I don't remember if he was like one or the other.
I'm not sure.
I mean, nowadays it's like it's so specialized. Like this is our punt returner, this is our kick returner.
Makes a difference.
Drop the fucking ball. That's all I care about.
Yeah, I just think I just feel like Devin Hester like kind of like made the kick and punt return like a legitimate like position. You know, like you always have some schmoes that don't do anything.
Yeah.
Kick and punt.
Well, and it's especially interesting now because, you know, with the moving where you kick the ball from, it's just the way it's kind of played is different. That I think I don't know if we'll see that again. And it's kind of special, seeing what he did during that time period, which really, wasn't that long ago. I mean, I don't know.
Twice in Sunday.
I think
he belongs in.
Yeah, and I think that record, unless they change it back, I think that record will stay forever. I just think it's too difficult now.
Well, I think if it were to get broken, it'll be by a defensive player that also does the kick and punt type options. Just because in the passing world, you see an abundance of pick sixes.
Right.
It'll be like a slot corner or something like that. You know what I mean? It'll be somebody that is good and people game plan for, but not somebody that they're not like a Jalen Ramsey where opposing teams just decide, hey, we're just not going to throw to him. Hello?
Great.
Yep.
Oh.
Just waiting for you to finish your thought.
Thought?
Oh, I lost somebody.
I think.
Hello?
Who did we lose?
I think we lost Mock.
Yep.
Oh, well, his fucking thing's shit in the bed again. Or did he fall asleep? Did he say that?
No. We don't have to for it to be true.
Facts.
Would be funny. He falls asleep, falls right on the button.
So, I'm with Paul. Just to backtrack of what he was talking about. This year was kind of a weird year for me in watching football. I honestly didn't give a shit until the final 2 weeks. Usually I'm really into it and everything. I don't want to leave the house until Monday the next morning.
Yeah.
But this year was just a lot different. I don't know why.
I agree. Well, I know why it was a lot different for me, but
part of it was because the Steelers were not relevant. Those were the only games I really cared about this year. Usually I care about all of them.
Well, I mean, I think it could depend, year to year. I mean, you may find, Kyle, that you're not as interested for a little while, or maybe you come back next year and regardless of how the Steelers are playing, you're super into it again. I understand Paul's position a lot. Not so much because I haven't experienced it the same way he has, but I understand because it's it's frustrating to see things that are somewhat avoidable and just kind of the stubbornness of organizations to repeat themselves and do the same thing, and then in just in general, just how football is as a whole. We've seen it's just how it is. We live in this era of there's so much information, it's being thrown at you. Think about it, you go on on Instagram or Twitter, however you use social media, and if whatever you're following, there's gonna be little aspects that are being thrown at you, because you follow this person is a related thing, so you're getting information from all sides, all these different opinions, and it clouds up and mucks up everything, and it kind of, I don't know, it doesn't bring you down isn't the right thing to say. It's just it's a lot. It's it's an oversaturation of information, and it kind of burns you out. I get it.
A lot to do with it is of how it is every fucking year. You got the Chiefs at the top, you got the Bills at the top, right? They're pretty much going to battle it out for the AFC. Now you got the Bengals. The Bengals last year was different. It was kind of exciting, even though I fucking hate them.
Yeah.
But that's why it was exciting, because I could root against them. But you have the same teams and the same guys always in the title games or whatever.
Yeah.
So you didn't since adding the 7 seed, the 7 seed just usually just gets fucking smacked by the 2 seed. Because there's such a big gap between 7 and 2.
Yeah, no, you're right, and I think too, and I hate to sound like an old man when I say this, but like when we first started watching football, in my opinion, it was kind of perfect. The way it was set up, 16 games, you play your division 2 times each, blah blah blah. The rules, everything seemed to work, and at some point they decided, hey, we need to make this better. Totally unwarranted, unprovoked. They decided that we need to make it better, and since that day, every year it's trying to up the ante, and it's making things more complicated and less enjoyable. It makes it harder to like football because they're change things that don't need to be changed, and it's just it becomes like to quote Peter Griffin, it insists upon itself. It's like, listen. People like football. You don't have to make it better. The people who like football like it for a reason. The only person you're competing with is yourself. It doesn't make any sense. And now we're stuck in this vicious cycle of, oh well, how can this be better? What is this? And when it was fine to begin with, I don't understand where we got so selfish. I don't understand.
It's like you can't even hit the quarterback anymore. Like when Paul mentioned yesterday about the Cameron Hayward sack, in our heads it's not a penalty, but in the NFL it is a penalty. I get that. It's whatever. 5 years ago, that's not a penalty. Is that fair to say, Paul?
Oh yeah, I agree with you. I think the NFL it's getting soft from the standpoint, and I hate. In my opinion, the NFL is the only sport where they try to cover up what they're doing by using politically correct jargon. Because the NFL is more, like the rest of the sports leagues, in my opinion, are businesses before they're sports leagues. But the NFL is like a political thing and a business at the same time. And like the football part actually takes a back seat. So like, we're trying to have a reduction in CTE injuries and prolong the health of our players. It's just code for we want to have the best guys out there all the time so that our product is good. If Joe Burrow gets hurt or if Deshaun Watson got hurt on that play and had to miss the first 6 games of the next season, like what a blow to the NFL that was going to be, because there's going to be eyes on Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns next year. And so, by the textbook standard, that was the argument I was getting into with Kyle's dad, was that like by the NFL rulebook, that was a penalty. If he had Cam Hayward, like for, those who are listening who didn't watch the game, Cam Hayward was wrapping himself around Deshaun Watson, and then he stuck his cleats into the ground and then pulled Deshaun Watson in the opposite direction, which lifted Deshaun Watson off the ground, and then he threw him to the ground. That, he used his hips to slam him down. That, by textbook definition now, is roughing the passer. And Cam Hayward should have just grabbed onto him, dropped his legs out from underneath him, and used his body weight to pull Deshaun Watson down. Now, the reason I say it from like the political standpoint is the very, the physical violence of slamming Deshaun Watson to the ground, it visually shows him, but these are NFL athletes wearing pads. So him getting slammed down to the ground, other than his head slapping back hard and potentially causing a concussion, Deshaun Watson's probably not really going to get that hurt from that move. He's a big guy, and he's been getting hit his whole life. But if Cam Hayward had done the right thing by the NFL standard and just let his legs go and dragged him down with all of Cam Hayward's body weight, he probably would have tore Deshaun Watson's hamstring, because Deshaun Watson was trying to run away in the opposite direction, and he would have all of a sudden had 312 pounds of dead weight pulling on his fucking legs. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
That's something they got to look at too. I mean, these guys are moving at 110 miles an hour. How can they be expected to just hold up like at a last second Like, I get protecting player. I understand it all, but you have a 300-pound guy in a full sprint moving foot. Like, you can't just stop.
Edmund Chabot said the NFL will cease to exist.
You put flags on the quarterbacks and you just fucking let them play flag football.
I mean, we saw it in the Giants-Colts game where Jalen Smith hit Nick Foles, but he thought Foles threw it, so he just literally like belly bumped him.
Yeah.
And then turned around and then saw he didn't throw it and then went after him again. But you could see him trying to hold up and not get flagged, but it ended up costing him a sack and if that play, say if they connect on that pass and it goes for a touchdown, Smith is going to get ripped apart, but he's trying to do the right thing. I think the intent has to somewhat have some type of implication too.
Well, that's what the NFL's trying, because the roughing the passer used to be a judgment call. So was pass interference. It was like pass interference back in the day. It used to be was the player just creating excessive the player in pass interference? Did they create excessive force to because they couldn't they were trying to make up for a mistake and they were going to get burned, or were they competing for the ball and just got too physical? And it was the same thing with roughing the passer. Because I forget what it used to be, but didn't it used to be a 5-yard penalty if there was no intent to hurt or something like that, and 15 yards if there was intent? And they're doing what the MLB wants to do with the robot umps, take out the human error.
Right. Yeah.
Go ahead, Kendall.
Oh no, I there was a change. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I know what you're talking about.
Right. I forget what it was, but there used to be something where it was like that. It was.
The thing I hate more than anything, and this is what I think, at least from games I watch, that I see more than anything is, the defensive lineman is coming in, and he's either pushed to the ground, but already falling forward, and just happens to hit the quarterback's legs. Unintentionally, because whatever's happening, he falls for whatever reason, and he gets flagged for roughing the passer. And it's what are you supposed to do?
Fucking Rams game yesterday with the punter. Guy got pushed into the punter. He got called for running into the punter.
Yep.
He didn't do anything. He just got pushed.
Did you see the Jalen Ramsey penalty too?
Yeah, he just lowered his shoulder. He was still in bounds.
Not only did he lower his shoulder, he stood in place and Smith ran into him.
It was pretty textbook.
And DK Metcalf should have been flagged, but
whatever. But no, Seattle had to make it to the playoffs for some reason.
Well, that's not what made it to the playoffs. He missed that field goal.
Who missed the field goal?
Jason Myers.
Oh yeah, but Rams would have had that game, I think, if we didn't get fucking penalized 3 different times.
Yeah, true. Don't get me wrong. Like the Kim Hayward thing, I understand, but we also got away with a big time face mask in that game, so it worked out.
True.
I just think they need to look at the intent of the hit more. I mean, I think that should weigh more than what the actual hit was. And I know that's very speculative and judgment call, but if a guy's already fallen, or like Kyle said, if the offensive lineman pushes him and he falls, how is that his fault? What are you supposed to do? It's a very slippery slope.
That one, the Paul camp, I'm getting really tired of hearing about Patrick Mahomes. Everything that anybody does is compared to him in a quarterback standpoint.
Well, my thing about Patrick Mahomes, I just fucking hate that this guy. He's going out and he's he doing these miraculous things, and I'm not knocking it. These weird fall down passes and these no looks and these things like that. And it's why is it all of a sudden why did Patrick Mahomes get labeled as the guy that when doing things like this, it's not it's oh, that's just Patrick Mahomes. It's creative and it's unique and it's a total different thing on the position. If anybody else did that shit, they would, if somebody if Patrick Mahomes dove 30 yards to the right, fucking falling down with his offhand to throw a 15-yard pass into triple coverage, and it was picked off, the NFL media would be like, Patrick Mahomes was really trying to be inventive there. If fucking, Trevor Lawrence did that, it would be like, what the fuck was this guy thinking? It's like I just don't, like, the double standard of it is, like, so fucking ridiculous. And, like I personally don't care what anybody's opinion is on it, because everyone's entitled to their own. But for everybody that wanted to shit on Tom Brady for the last 20 years, congratulations. You got Patrick Mahomes. He's the new Tom Brady. He can do no wrong. The world will always love him no matter what he could do. Guy could shoot a kid in the face, and people will be like, it's Patrick Mahomes, though. The guy's the face of fucking football. Like, it just doesn't, like Tom Brady could do ridiculous shit in 2012. He could try the most ridiculous thing in the world, and people would be like, oh, man, look at his tenacity and his creativeness and the way he handles himself in the pocket when there's someone in his face. And that's what Patrick Mahomes is now, and it's just annoying. Especially because all the people that, like, boast about him are all the people that are so quick to just be like, I fucking hate Tom Brady. And it's like, well, guess what? You got him again. And now he's in a Chiefs uniform.
What was annoying in the Steelers-Raven game 2 weeks ago was that, like, Kenny Pickett did something, and Chris Collinsworth was like, so that's like Patrick Mahomes, like, we're not going to talk about it because it's not Patrick Mahomes. Pickett's not trying to be Patrick Mahomes. He's just trying to get the fuck out of the way because the offensive line's so trash. And he happened to make a good throw. Like, not everything has to go back to being Patrick Mahomes like.
Hey, you put some respect on our offensive line. They played pretty well down the stretch.
For the run. For the pass, he's running for his life every time he says height. Well, I'm just tired of hearing that, it's Patrick Mahomes like. No, it's not. Like, everybody has their own quarterback. Everybody said it's Josh Allen. Like, everybody shits on Josh Allen because he runs like a fucking running back.
Well,
got a problem.
It's the double standard of the NFL, and it's very obnoxious because it's like 3 years ago, it was, Lamar Jackson's a running back, and, it was a complete negate on everything he did with his arm. But Josh Allen, it is not a running back, or, fucking Justin Fields goes out and scrambles to try to not get fucking sacked and tries to save his life and runs for a 40-yard run. And the first article you see is, Justin Fields is really ruining his career by running. He's just a running quarterback that's going to get hurt. And it's like, then Josh Allen runs and tries to hurdle a linebacker and goes headfirst into a fucking safety for a 2-yard gain. And it's like, look at the fucking tenacity on that guy. He's got balls. And
yeah,
it's like,
no, that's very fair.
It's just like, and I mean, I personally don't care because I'm not the woe is me type in the sports world. My sports franchises are pretty dog shit right now, all 4 of them. So I got a lot going for me in the sport world. But like from an NFL standpoint, like the media hates Chicago. They hate the Bears. I don't know what it is. I don't know what happened to them, but they just do not like them.
Yeah. Well, I agree. I think we are in the era as long as he's relevant. This will be the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes being the new, Patriots Brady. I think we are very well into that for however long they're going to be good for. That's this decades, flavor of the moment. So
right, and the thing with
fucking Tom Brady.
And the first thing, the first argument you'll get from like a standard like Brady hater but Mahomes lover that like wants to be vocal on the subject is, the first thing you're going to see is like, Brady, like look at Brady, like Brady's yelling at, he's throwing tablets, he's yelling at offensive linemen and this and that, and it's like Brady wasn't doing that in 2006. Brady was doing that in 2012. Brady was that when he was frustrated because they weren't winning Super Bowls anyway. They went to 2 against the Giants and lost, and they hadn't won a Super Bowl since the mid 2000s. And this sort of thing. And it's like people forget, like Mahomes is still like young. Like there's a very good chance that he gets to that way. I'm not saying he will. Maybe he doesn't. But we've seen instances where Mahomes is screaming at offensive coordinators. He's yelling at linemen. He's got his fair share of off the field things that people pay attention to. And it's like, like Brady wasn't, nobody was talking about Brady in 2005 as being this fucking basket case that was screaming at everybody and the negative side of an ultra competitive player. That didn't come until years later when he was winning.
Yeah. I
think Patrick Mahomes is very talented, and I wish for him to have a very successful and long career. I just think that I find it very funny that the world is so quick to, jump on the bandwagon of a player like a Patrick Mahomes and, be like, oh, no. We're doing the same thing that we hated the fans that, did it with Brady. We're doing the same thing, but it's not the same thing because it's not Brady. And I think the frustrating part from a fan of the NFL is that with Brady, it was just Patriots fans. It was only Patriots fans that were riding his dick. There are NFL fans that ride Patrick Mahomes' dick harder than they ride their own team's dick, and it's annoying. It's like the LeBron James thing. It's like like you've got fucking Phoenix Suns fans in 2010 that are bigger LeBron James fans than they are fucking Phoenix Suns fans.
I hate LeBron James.
It's like you can appreciate what the guy does and root for him without being willing to give up your firstborn for him.
Well, it's an interesting thing what you're saying, Paul, and like as of like this moment right now, I have no problem, and I like Patrick Mahomes, but it's interesting because the comparison I'm making is we were pretty young when Brady and the Patriots won those 3 Super Bowls, and they were kind of on top of their game. So I don't have a strong memory of what kind of like the full people's opinions were at that time. It was more kind of like after the 3 Super Bowls. That's when I like come to realize the realization what people's feelings were. I wonder what my feelings will be if the Chiefs continue to be the dominant force they are in another 5 to 6 years' time, and winning a Super Bowl or not, but being like a dominant force. Will my opinion change? Will I start to kind of adopt that feeling I had for Brady and the Patriots? You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
no, and I think it goes further than what you're saying, because I don't think the real shitting on Brady from non-Patriots fans really started. I mean, I think people were annoyed that Brady was consistently winning and the Patriots were always in the fold. And that's going to happen. People feel that way about the Chiefs. People will feel that way about the Bills. People feel that way about San Francisco, about the Rams. Like any team that's winning for more than 3 years, they're fucking over it. Because usually it's people whose teams suck that get the most mad. But like the thing with it wasn't really, people didn't really start shitting on him until after he lost the Super Bowls to the Giants, and it was because he was wearing his emotions on his sleeves on the sidelines, and it's like, well, this guy is playing in 2007 to 2012 in those 5 years with guys that weren't there when they won the Super Bowls. Brady was there, and he knows what it takes, and he knows what it means to win. And like, why is it shame on him for wanting to get back there and do it again? It's like the ultra competitiveness is frowned upon from Tom Brady's standpoint, but it's like, it's not frowned upon from other players' standpoint. And I don't understand why. I mean, if you want to have a gripe against Tom Brady because of the Deflategate thing, fine.
That's where I think a lot stems from. That's to me when a lot of the hatred for them started, was after the different scandals.
But it happened before the Deflategate, and
before that was Tuck Rule and Spygate.
But neither of those are Tom Brady's fault.
Yes, you're right. But again, it was the team benefit, and they kept winning. It's just how it played out.
Brady was the face of the Patriots. That's why.
I understand that, but at the same time, though, it's like you want to hate you're going to hate a guy for something that's like not his fault, and you're going to hate him for winning. Like you hate him for being good, but then like you hate Tom Brady for being good. That's what you do. You hate him for being good. You hate him for being the best and constantly winning. But then, those same people that hate Tom Brady turn around and praise someone like Patrick Mahomes for consistently winning and consistently being the best.
That happens in every sport.
I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm saying, but like, why does it happen?
It's just, there's really no answer. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, you think about it in the 90s, if you weren't a Yankees fan, you hated everyone on the Yankees. But there's people now that love the Astro. I mean, it's just...
Most of the people hate the Yankee fans.
No, but again, I mean, if you weren't a Yankees fan in the late 90s and through the you didn't like Jeter. That's just how it is.
I think most people did like Jeter.
I don't think Jeter falls into that same category.
People like Jeter because he was a good guy. No, people didn't really like Roger Clemens. I'll give you that one.
I think that Tom Brady and LeBron James are similar from the same. People hate LeBron James because he constantly made it to the NBA Finals, but forget and totally neglect the fact that the guy used $2 billion of his own fucking money to make a school for kids who couldn't afford to go to get an education. Like Tom Brady donates all this money to charities and stuff like that, and it's like but fuck him because he wins football games. And it's like it's just really it's weird. Like I don't understand.
I do think too, and just to kind of put it out there, it could also just be a timing thing where Mahomes is coming up in the social media age, where until Brady went to Tampa, like he just looked like a fucking statue all the time. And then when we saw him in Tampa, like after they won their Super Bowl, and he's on the on the boat all fucking wasted, throwing the Lombardi Trophy around. I think a lot of people kind of loosened up because they saw he's not just a fucking robot. Whereas Mahomes' entire career is going to be played out on fucking Instagram.
You know what? He was never a robot. He fucking hung out with Gronk.
Kyle, are you in the same room as your microphone?
Yeah, right next to my microphone. It's on my fucking head.
That's why we can't hear you.
It's on my goddamn head. Do you hear me better?
That's better.
Try again.
Fuck off.
No, try again with what you said, asshole.
Oh, you know why I know Brady wasn't a statue? Because
Why?
he fucking hung out with Gronk all the time.
Yeah, but you didn't see the behind the scenes of that.
We saw how Gronk was, and Brady hung out with him, so they definitely partied a lot.
Sure, but the public never saw that.
No. But you knew.
But on the flip side of it, it's I know they're two totally different things, but this is like the thing where like I it's the world is fine with whatever Patrick Mahomes does at this moment in time, the social media thing. So like you have this standpoint where it's like, okay, fine. Mahomes is coming up in a social media era and people see the person that he is and whatever, whereas Brady didn't do those things. But at the same time, you see the people that Patrick Mahomes associates with, and they're the buds of every joke, and the world hates them and wants them fucking gone, and make hate comments at his brother and his wife nonstop and can't stand them. And those are the people that, Patrick Mahomes chooses to have spend his free time with. And I get it, it's his wife, but you know what I mean? But these are the people that Mahomes surrounds himself with, which, regardless of, whatever you have to say, it's a reflection on his image as a person. But everyone's like, yeah, but Mahomes has just got to get out of that. It's not Mahomes dealing with that. That's his brother. It's not Mahomes. And it's like, I don't understand. So he just it gets an out. You know what I mean? But on the same token, if some other guy posted, being with toxic people all the time, it would be an off the field concern. It's very bizarre. It's just you see these players, they get free passes with stuff, and in the eyes of the fan base, it's very bizarre. It's like from the Tom Brady standpoint, it was Patriots fans loved him everybody else hated him. Whereas, like, from a Patrick Mahomes standpoint, everybody loves him, no matter what. The guy could win 4 straight Super Bowls, and the world backs him. He could run for president, and he would probably get 10% of the votes. It's just very bizarre to me that, from a career standpoint, they've done nothing different. They've both been very successful. They've both done things nobody else has done. They've both seen immense amount of success, and they've both dominated the NFL in their early parts of their career. But one came out scathed and ridiculed as the poster child for hating that guy, and the other one came out as, a world hero. And I don't understand why. Because it's not like Patrick Mahomes is posting on social media like, "Oh my God, I just saved this kitten from a tree." I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. And again, I don't hate Patrick Mahomes. I don't have anything against him. I'm tired of hearing about him. I would like to hear more about other people. I hate hearing. I hate seeing a Chiefs game where Patrick Mahomes, has 60% completion, throws for 287 and 2 touchdowns, and that's all they talk about, but they don't talk about the fucking, linebacker that had 15 tackles. They don't talk about the fucking, they don't talk about the third string receiver that had 4 catches for, 77 yards and one of those touchdowns. Like, I get annoyed by that, but I don't hate the guy. It's very interesting to me how that dynamic works. And you see it in all sports, but it's very, like, the way it's, like, unfolding with Mahomes is it feels like Mahomes could win. Mahomes could go to the Super Bowl every year for 10 straight years starting this season, and people still wouldn't be upset about it. Like, they would be like, "Oh, good. I'm happy for him. He keeps winning. He deserves it." But if Brady goes to this Super Bowl, people will hate it. It's just it's very weird. Very weird to me how NFL fans like pick and prod at the people that, like, we're going to anoint this kid as the savior of, the next coming of Jesus Christ, and we're going to anoint this one as an asshole, and then we're going to stick to that forever. And it's not just Tom Brady. You see it with other players. There's other players that, like, don't get their, that, like, people just hate. Like Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's a perfect example. That there you go. Lamar Jackson is the Tom Brady of this era, and Patrick Mahomes is the Peyton Manning. In terms of, like loving versus hating. Ravens fans love Lamar Jackson. Everybody else hates him. Whatever the reason is, Patrick Mahomes, everybody loves. Even fucking Broncos, Raiders, and Chargers fans would gladly invite him to Thanksgiving dinner and name their firstborn Patrick. And that's the way it was in the early 2000s. Somebody would step on Tom Brady's throat to clean their boots, but then that same fucking, Houston Texans fan would invite Peyton Manning over for fucking, drinks and be like, I really think it'd be nice if you had your own room. It's very bizarre how we do that.
Yeah, no, it's interesting.
Shut up, Kendall.
All right.
You didn't say bullshit.
The cookie draft.
What, Kyle?
The cookie draft.
Did you need a better microphone?
Are we doing the cookie draft?
Fucking
He said, "Are we doing the cookie draft?"
Oh, sure.
This fucking killing my dick.
I'll take the phone off your head.
Are you still there?
Here, man. I'm here.
Take the phone off your head.
It's not on my head. It's my magnet into my head.
It said magnet weird.
It's in the bathroom.
Whatever it is, you don't sound good.
Yeah, I know. Okay? I know.
All right, let me pull up the randomizer.
I really hate when you're like walking through like a random field and like all the Pokemon are like level 9, and then you randomly stumble onto like a level, and it just fucking.
Hey,
Kendall,
Massey.
Mass, Paul, Kyle, Muck.
Massey, on Discord, can you? I know you can go live, but can you show us in real time recording the draft or not really?
Yeah, I mean, you guys would have to watch the actual thing, but yes, I can show it too.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I was just curious. I don't know if that impacted people. So just,
I mean, I'm here.
No, I just mean like as far as like, so Matt, what do I have to do? Just watch stream?
Yeah.
This is where I really struggle with this game.
What?
What's that?
Every Pokemon game, it's like I want to keep the new Pokemon in my party so I can evolve them and see what they look like, and if I want to keep them. But then
What game are you playing?
But then I come across a fucking Ghastly, and it's like, well, I need to have Gengar. So fuck seeing the new evolved form of this Wooper, I don't give a fuck about that anymore.
Yeah.
Or, I caught this cool little electric puppy. Let's see what this thing does. And it's like, oh, cool, a Flaffy. Fuck you, electric puppy. You haven't earned my respect yet. I don't know anything about you.
It's very funny.
Yeah, like I want to see what this Wooper evolves into, this regional form of Wooper, but I just caught a fucking level 18, fucking Phanpy, and Phanpy is just a fucking...
What game are you playing?
It's just so goat. It's a goat Pokemon.
Paul.
What?
Which Pokemon?
Which Pokemon?
What game are you playing?
Scarlet.
Good man.
Yeah, I just it's so how the Pokemon evolved. It's like I was talking to Mock about it. And it was like, Pokemon Red comes out, and you're like, I've traveled the entire region, catching every Pokemon I come across and winning every battler I've ever faced. I've made it through the final or the Elite Four and proved myself as a Pokemon master. And I will use this one-of-a-kind special Pokeball to catch this one-of-a-kind legendary Pokemon that I have spent 400 hours playing this game to catch. And it's like, fast forward to Pokemon Scarlet. Hey, dude, I just found a legendary passed out on a beach. I'm gonna ride it like a scooter.
I mean,
it's just fucking evolved. It's like.
all right, Kendall.
Okay.
You have the number one overall pick.
All right, so I just wanted to preface how we chose this. Kyle kind of brought this up in our group chat about cookies and...
Can I interrupt you real quick?
Yes.
Massey, I wanted to say something to you that only you would understand.
Okay.
Morrowind over Skyrim all the time.
I would have understood that.
You didn't play Morrowind.
And I don't know that I agree.
Morrowind was sick.
Skyrim's also fucking awesome.
Morrowind's a lot of fun, but I think I spent more hours in Skyrim. I have a disgusting number of hours in Skyrim.
Oh yeah.
If they came out with Morrowind with if they came out with them side by side at the same time, like Morrowind would Morrowind would blow it out.
Skyrim
Nostalgia maybe, but I don't know. Skyrim has more.
All right, back to the cookies. Campbell, go ahead and explain yourself.
Okay, so I mean, we probably have done this draft before.
Real quick, I wanted to say something to Mock that only he would understand. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
It's possible we've done this draft before, but it doesn't matter. Kyle came in with our Fig Newton debate, and it kind of spawned into what this is, and we're going to do a perhaps revisit of the cookie draft. So I was fortunate enough to get the first overall pick.
Have we done this before?
I don't know.
Double check them.
I may be wrong. I just know we've done a ton of drafts. But what I'm taking with my first overall pick, and it's my personal favorite cookie.
Hold on. I was going to try to pee in silence, but you just jumped the gun. We got to set some parameters here for a specific draft like
Nope,
this.
that's fine. That's fine. That's my bad.
You guys are getting a flush on air.
All right, Kyle.
So are we taking individual cookies of specific brands? So if you take the Oreo, can I take the double stuffed Oreo?
I
think brands,
I would say yes.
Because I'm just thinking, like, if you take Oreo, you're eliminating an entire like thing of the cookie.
Yes.
Like,
I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I think that's fine.
Be specific.
I say specific.
So here's a pitch I'm going to make, and feel free to shoot it down. I think you can do different flavors, but I think stuff that's like just more upon the original, like double chocolate chips or shit like that, don't count. If you get Chips Ahoy, you get the original Chips Ahoy flavor.
So, like, but like, what about like chewy Chips Ahoy? It's the same cookie, it's just softer, but it's a different cookie.
I would say that that's exempt. I'd say that's a separate thing.
So
Because
Oreo and double stuff are the same thing.
yes.
I disagree.
Okay, that's fine. We can disagree.
I think, Mass. I'll amend what you're saying. I think if you take things like, if you take the Oreo, someone can't come in and say, "I'm going to take the mini Oreos," which is something Kendall would do.
What?
Yes, you would, Kendall.
No
yes,
way.
We'll look at it as we go on. But I think we should stick with that for now.
Go ahead, Kendall. Waste your first pick.
Okay, well, I disagree about the waste of the first pick, but my personal favorite cookie is the Peggy Lawton Choco Chip Cookie. I'm sure you have seen it perhaps in convenience marts and small, dive type restaurants. It's the three cookies wrapped in plastic, chocolate chip. It's very good. It's my favorite cookie. And
you lost the draft, but
nope, that's BS. You guys are attacking me just because of one dislike and a completely discounting for a cookie that is good. So screw yourselves.
You could have let that fall to the 5th round and nobody would have taken it.
Well, you
That's the
know
thing.
what? I got my favorite cookie, and that's all that matters.
It was more so a waste pick because you could have just waited on it.
Doesn't matter. I think that cookie is better than what it's perceived to be by others.
by
Really-
what, Ken? By
really
what?
By
It's
flavor
not-
and quality. It's a crunchy cookie, and it's a good chocolate chip cookie. I mean, you guys are making it seem like it's made of fucking cardboard. Like, I mean, it's a cookie. People know what it is. Like, I mean, it's like you guys are making it seem like I made it out of grass in a. I don't get it.
I'm just saying it was a waste.
It's just there's no reason to hate on this cookie. Listen,
I'm not hating on the cookie. I'm hating on the bacon.
that's fair, and I can respect that.
I don't hate Ryan Leaf. I just hate that he got drafted second.
Torn between two here.
Massey's going to take my cookie. I'm so pissed.
I think I'm going to take the double stuffed.
Oh, thank God.
Are you going to take the other one?
I don't know what the other one is. I feel like
Man,
taking it to be you.
this is like my favorite part of every draft, where everything Massey picks. Like, are you taking the other one?
Massey, I don't know what the other one is. I'm taking what I perceive to be the goat cookie, and it's the golden Oreo.
Oh man, that's a bummer.
The golden Oreo is the goat cookie.
I fucking love those.
I could eat endless amounts of those cookies.
Man, that sucks.
Well,
I'm gonna go with the Chips Ahoy, the original.
You know what's even funnier? That not only did Kendall waste his pick, but then Kyle didn't take Fig Newton.
Could you imagine if I came and took like Fig Newton?
I can't even. It's my pick, right?
yes.
Yeah.
I can't even believe Fig Newton's fell. I'm in.
I love the Fig Newton, but the golden Oreo is king.
Golden Oreos are so good.
Mock
And-
back to back.
And I just want to make a comment. The guy who brought up Fig Newton in the first place, that kind of spawned this entire thing from being in a group chat to being on our podcast tonight, didn't take it, is just mind-boggling to me.
Oh, I thought it was
There it
in the
is.
second round.
In fairness, just because he likes Fig Newtons.
Back to back.
I just love his reasoning.
Well, it also, in fairness, he said Fig Newtons were great. He didn't say they were better than Chips Ahoy.
Listen, that's fine. It's just abusing.
Mock back to back.
All right.
Really hope-
With my second selection,
Don't do it,
I'm
Mom.
taking the Toll
Don't
House
do it.
Fudge Stripe cookies.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Fuck you.
Paul, don't do it.
Fuck you.
All right,
Fuck
Kyle.
you.
Kyle,
Kyle.
you're the only standing in between me and my perfect 1-2 punch for myself.
Taking the Nutter Butter.
Good pick.
Pick.
Paul,
pick.
please don't do it.
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
It's like my favorite thing.
I'm driving it up for you, Ma.
I'm keeping the train rolling on my themes. Give me the Nilla wafer.
Oh, thank God.
Ooh.
Sick pick.
It's a good pick.
The Nilla wafer's so good.
I'm going to take... I feel like I'm going to get shit for this, or I'm going to get huge praise for this. I'm taking the samosas.
The what?
The Girl Scout cookies. Samoas, sorry.
He's taking the salmonella cookie.
Samoas.
You know, the one that makes it taste like you have a spider in your mouth?
I was going to say, because Kendall's definitely taking mimosas now.
Nice.
Y'all take the Bloody Mary cookie here. I will take the Malamar.
Gross.
Oh,
I hate those.
what? The Malamar is awesome.
I will say
personally don't.
I will say this though, it's very funny. The Malamar is like the only vessel in which I can consume a marshmallow.
I just don't like the chocolate on it.
Really?
That's fair. It's
Yeah.
The Malamar cookie has like that weird like anthrax powder on it.
Which I can never figure out. It probably just is. Okay, now I need a ruling on this pick.
No.
Just for a specificity. I wanted to draft like the supermarket fresh bake chocolate chip cookie. So what do I have to do? What do I have to
I'll
do?
say
To do
supermarket cookie.
You got to pick the specific store.
Okay, so we got to do.
I'm fine with the supermarket cookie.
Got to be the specific store. They hit differently.
Okay, so I mean, I
Here
got to
comes
be
the
honest.
ShopRite Bakery.
Well, no, I mean, so I grew up on the Stop and Shop variety. Now I've experienced them all in our area.
Then you're making the wrong pick if you're going Stop and Shop.
Well, no. But so I'm saying is that would be the cookie that kind of like got me into the genre. But as time went on, I think if I had to pick a favorite, it's going to be the bougie Big Y cookie.
I don't know what that is.
It's just the chocolate chip cookie that comes from the supermarket.
Oh man,
But like the Big Y brand.
got you. You said bougie. I was like, what?
Well, I think Big Y is definitely bougie.
That's
it's
fair.
just a store.
Listen, it is what it is. I mean, I think
It's not like fucking Whole Foods.
well, it's kind of like the in between. I mean, they have a freaking bell as you leave. I mean, what does that tell you?
They actually don't have that anymore.
Why is it like a ship's crashing into the shore? I mean, what's the deal?
COVID. They didn't want people touching it.
See that? See, that's not fun.
Way to go, Kendall. If you didn't fuck that bat, we still would have had the bell.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
So funny.
if I had known.
If you had
All right.
known.
So who's next?
I am. I think I'm going to take the Milano cookies.
Gross.
I do like the cookie.
I just don't like it. I understand that there's like a huge culture behind it. I just can't get my head around it. I don't know
I
why.
never liked them either, Paul.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't know what it is. It's very weird to me. I don't know what it is. I just don't like it. It's like a poor man's Nutella sandwich. I gotta tell you, I wasn't thinking of a grocery store type cookie until Kendall brought it up. I'm gonna take what I think is the go of the shopping supermarket chocolate chip cookie. Give me the BJ's chocolate chip cookies.
All right,
Kyle?
my turn.
Those fucking cookies are always soft.
Can I take the Insomnia M&M cookie?
The Insomnia M&M cookie.
Yeah, you guys know what that place is?
Yeah, Insomnia.
Yes,
cookie?
I know Insomnia cookie. I don't.
If I
I
can't,
guess we have to. I guess we have to allow it because we allow grocery store.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
I think it's a fine
And
pick.
the restaurant is based solely on like that, so it's not like it comes like I'm taking the Chili's.
I'm taking
Shein
Skillet.
M&M cookies.
I'm taking
Actually,
Cookie Puss.
The Shein cookies weren't bad.
The Shein cookies.
Mock back to back.
All right. So I'm gonna take. I don't know how the room feels about them, but I'm gonna take the Tate's chocolate chip cookie.
I am a fan. That's a good cookie.
Those are pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then my next pick is going to be the Subway white chocolate macadamia nut cookie.
Miss me on that.
Oh, I love those.
I'll be
I don't like
taking
white chocolate.
the Subway salami white cookie.
Taking the famous Amos.
Did I spell Pates right?
Hate?
Tate.
P-A-T-E?
T-A-T.
P-A-T-E.
Tate.
P-E-Y-T-O-N Manning cookie.
Oh, come on, Kyle. Don't do it to me, Kyle.
I just said mine.
Oh, what'd you take?
I took the famous Amos.
The famous Amos chocolate chip, the small ones.
Yeah.
Nice. Go ahead and give me the Little Debbie oatmeal cream pie.
Is that a cookie?
Is that a cookie?
Yes.
It's two oatmeal
cookie.
cookies with cream in the middle. If we're taking Milano, we're taking this.
If it's found in the aisle, it counts.
I'll take the goldfish cookies.
I don't think we can really go with that, Kendall, because you don't find the BJ's chocolate chip cookies in the cookie aisle.
Well, what the meaning being is that if it's found with all the Nabisco and type products, you know.
The reason I think it counts is because the description of it is fluffy cream sandwiched between two chewy oatmeal cookies.
Good enough.
Like an Oreo. An Oreo is really just two cookies.
I mean, that's true.
I did hear somebody one time say that if you take the cream out and you're just left with the Oreo part, they're called crackers, and that made me really mad. Got real mad when Oreos being called crackers.
Massey's going to take the off-brand Oreo that's in the Lunchables box.
Off-brand Oreo. What would those be? Hydrox?
Bingo.
Are they?
Actually, I
I'm
don't know
not
for sure.
100% sure, but I think Hydrox was the name of the bad guy, or the sidekick in Osmosis Jones.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I
that
like
was
that.
the sidekick.
Yeah,
You said the sidekick was Drix.
yeah, Hydrox. It was a
Is it
play-
Hydrix?
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Anyways, Massey, your pick.
Sorry, I got distracted by googling Ozzy and Drix. I think I'm going to take the Biscoff cookies.
Nice.
The Eric Bischoff cookies.
Have you ever had the Biscoff butter?
Yes.
Oh my god,
So I am an ignoramus. What is that?
Biscoff! It's like a fancy cookie.
Kendall, have you ever been on a plane? I don't know if you have or not.
I have, but I mean that doesn't matter.
I tell you something. Kendall's the perfect person to ask that to because he's the most uncultured swine we know.
Yeah,
Kendall,
is the plane that goes in
here.
the water? What is that?
The plane is the thing that gets you places faster than trains.
Here, I put it in general chat so you can see what it is.
And it's better in all facets.
So wait, is the plane is that what you like draw the line on? Is that X or Y axis?
All right, Kendall, you have 2 back-to-back picks, please.
You don't want to take the acute triangle.
Yeah, I'll
Kendall's
take
gonna
the
take-
acute triangle.
Kendall's going to take the Oreo mint thins.
Oh my god. All right. I will take the Chessman from the Pepperidge Farm corp there.
The shortbread cookie.
Yep.
Good pick.
Thank you.
I like shortbread cookies.
Yeah.
You're pretty good.
And then of course I can't get back to this. Massey, how do I get back? So I went to the main chat and I see what you sent me, and then
You should just be able to click on my name again and then click watch stream.
it blocks it out.
I mean, can you really not remember what was taken?
I was just wanted to watch. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have
Kendall,
to watch
you
it.
can click the pictures like that are up right now, and it should bring up all 4.
Okay, I brought it back.
Okay.
All right.
45-7 with 3:41 left in the third quarter.
It's 45 now.
Nail biter.
Yeah, the Peach Bowl was the.
I gotta tell you, I'm like pretty bummed because there's like a bunch of cookies I want to take, but I won't take them because I know nobody else will. But like, I just feel bad not saying them.
I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. And I know I'm going to get yelled at for The
How
next
many
one I
rounds are you
take.
doing?
You didn't take
It's-
the edamame.
Been bullied out of liking those too.
The wasabi chips ahoy.
Oh,
my god.
All right. Unless you guys can help me out, I don't know the name off the top of my head. It's Keebler. They make it's like it almost looks like it's a chocolate cookie. It almost like the size of like a domino almost. I gotta
Keep
look.
going.
So it's like it's just chocolate wrap, but otherwise inside is just kind of like a regular cookie. It's like the same like the fudge stripe would be, but it's just like a rummy tile.
Hold on.
Like the fudge sticks?
No, it's not like a wafer.
Unlike a wafer. Fudge sticks, graham cookies.
Oh, maybe is that what it is?
Is it a
Deluxe
sandwich?
grams. Is it this?
Oh, let me see.
Oh, he's talking about the grasshoppers.
Grass. Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Deluxe gram.
And also making 2 cookies no one's ever heard of.
Oh, the deluxe grams are awesome. Hey, I'm taking a piss. I'll be back.
I'm gonna go.
Does he use the pee bucket at his house?
Yes.
Guaranteed.
He records upstairs, so he just pees in the sink in the kitchen.
Right
I'm
with
gonna
the
take a-
dishwasher?
Very basic one.
What do you got?
I think we're just gonna take the graham cracker.
Wait, are we including crackers into
No,
this?
I gotta say that's not a cookie.
Because
It was in the aisle.
here's the deal.
No.
If we're doing crackers in this, we need to start this draft over.
Yeah, I gotta veto the graham cracker.
It's a cracker, man.
If we're taking graham cracker, then fucking Cheez-Its are coming off the board quick.
All right.
52-7, by the way.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so we want to do a cracker draft next. I got crackers on deck.
Did we already do a cracker draft?
Yes.
You know what's really weird though? Why is Cracker Jack not a cracker?
Because it's a popcorn.
Is popcorn considered a chip?
No.
No, it's considered popcorn. Is animal crackers considered a cookie?
No,
You're
it's
saying the word cracker.
I know.
I love animal cookies.
I've heard them actually called that before. Fuck. I don't.
Because
What?
like they make frosted animal crackers, and like there's just like it's such a cookie, it's not even funny, but it says cracker in the name.
Those slap hard. I
What
love
about
those
Teddy?
fucking
What about Teddy
things.
Grahams?
They're a cracker, man.
Well, hold on.
I'm so pissed that I had to put Fampy in my fucking box.
I'm making the pitch for Teddy Grahams.
I think that's also a cracker. Nah, you know what? I'll give it to you. I think it's a cookie.
Which
All
one
right.
you taking?
The chocolate ones.
Oh, those are so bad.
I
No.
enjoy the chocolate ones.
Here's the thing. Do I double?
So here's what a Google search comes up.
Uh-oh.
Teddy Grahams, brand of bear-shaped graham cracker snacks.
All right, man.
Then I guess I don't get those.
Draft.
I'm straight at the bottom of the barrel at this point. I'm just going with the first thing that pops into my mind. I'll go with wafer cookies.
A wafer. I'm just being a dick.
Okay. Paul?
Do you know what you're taking,
Who?
Kyle?
Yeah, I know whom. I know what I'm taking.
Yeah. Do you want to tell me what it is? Because I think
Like
I
you-
just.
Is it? All right, I'll send you a text.
Well, I'm
What does
just.
it matter? It's between the two of you.
Yeah, it's just you and me. I'm not going to take this item because I don't want it. But like, I was looking up like like things that aren't crackers but are cookies because I was curious. And those frosted animal crackers, like the brand is called Mother's, and they're called frosted animal cookies.
I think I should get first dibs on that because I asked about animal crackers.
Ooh, nope. We can't travel back in time. We can only look to the future. That was way deeper than you thought it was going to be.
You give me $10, I'll defend you, Maz.
Here's the thing: do I want to mock? Do I want to double down on the golden Oreo?
Are you going with the double stuffed golden Oreo?
Nah, I tell you what, though, golden Oreo thins are pretty good.
I'm not really in on the thins.
So I was thinking about taking whatchamacallit, oh fuck, now I'm blanking on the name.
The candy. That's a candy.
I was thinking about taking the what is it, like the Vienna fingers? Was that what they're called? But I don't know if I want to double down on those. Hey, you know what cookie I'm glad hasn't been taken, and I hope it never is, are those fucking awful holiday-themed Pillsbury cookies. Those are fucking trash.
The ones like a sugar cookie with like a stamp in the middle.
It's just they're awful. Those combined with the frosted fucking fluffy sugar cookies, those can go rot in hell.
The frosted sugar ones, like the Pillsbury ones, I can get down with.
And I'm talking about like the ones that like the stores make.
With like the shitty frosting on top.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Like the fucking with like the sprinkles.
And it's a real thick layer.
Those are fucking awful.
But like the Pillsbury ones, you know, like the tubed roll of dough.
Yeah.
And they stamp like a fucking pumpkin face in the middle.
No, those I also hate. Those are the two things I was saying.
Yeah, I can get down with those.
I have a request. I'd like to submit a pick change after the draft is over if it doesn't get picked, because I was rushed.
You weren't rushed. You picked 14 crackers.
I'll take the Cheez-It here.
I'm gonna take. You know what? I'm gonna take the Royal Danks.
In the blue tin.
Yeah, the butter cookies in the blue tin.
Yeah,
those are prime.
Pick.
Those fucking slap. Those are way better than the Chessman.
Oh, sorry. The tin you chose is sewing utensils.
Wait, what is it?
I think they're pretty equal.
It still smells like them.
What is this?
I'm taking the Thin Mint.
Hold on.
God, you should be arrested.
You know that
I like those. I don't care what you say. You hate everything mint.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kendall, you picked fucking salty cookies #1 overall.
Yeah, I brushed my cheeks with barbecue sauce.
I mean, Kendall, you picked a cookie that's so bad they had to put salt on the cookie to make it like good.
You know, I am attacked just constantly. I have somebody. You guys should come over for a cookie day, and we'll have the salty cookies together. It'll be real nice.
I'll make sure to bring any other cookie that I have.
Real
so
nice.
I gotta drive to Milford to eat a fucking cookie.
I'll meet you at the rest stop halfway.
How about instead we all
rest stop?
We all get together at Mock's
at
house
North Haven,
and we eat Fig Newtons while we like watch football together. And Kendall can just eat his salty cookies with Handy and Jeff.
Yeah, and enjoy your fly wings and couch cushions.
Massey, it's not the Oreo Thin Mint. It's just the Thin Mint from the Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, Girl Scout
that
Thin
sounded
Mint.
to me like Kendall was insulting the food I give you guys when you come to my house.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Well, Mock, you know what it is? You know what it is, Mock? It's because it doesn't come in a microwave-safe tub.
That's a Lloyd's reference that I don't care for. And Mass,
I have one pick?
Mass, you can put there Crest white strips for Kyle's pick.
That's not the same thing, man.
Do I have one pick or two?
You have one.
All right.
My phone froze. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's weird. My audio.
I'm going to close out by taking the peanut butter cookie.
Which one?
I mean, that's right. I forgot I had to be specific.
Yes. This isn't just cookie flavors.
I'll take the Sally Fields.
Okay.
Sally Field, nice pick.
I missed it.
As far as the grandma cookie didn't get taken.
Those grandma cookies are pretty good. All right, Max, let's hear your
Sorry,
pitch.
guys.
It was actually going to be the grandma cookie. But Kyle said it, so now I can't take it.
I don't care. Take it. I don't give a shit. But
Yeah, that's fine.
which one?
I was going to just take the original flavor.
The chocolate chips?
No, I think it's a peanut butter one.
Oh, all right.
Not gonna lie, the grandma's oatmeal raisin slaps pretty hard.
Oh, no
I
reason.
don't like
Can I
oatmeal
tell you?
raisin.
If I had 100 guesses, I would have never thought Kyle would say that.
I'm really glad that nobody took those fucking fairy cookies from Pepperidge Farm. Those are
What
awful.
about Dunkaroos? You guys remember those?
Yeah.
They're not that good. I don't know why
They're not.
They're not good.
They were good when we were 7.
Yeah, but so is like fucking Hey Arnold. That show sucks.
Actually, you know what so sucks? The Powder Puff Girls. Remember that night?
So there's a couple
What?
of cookies.
What?
When we watched the Powder Puff Girls at your house?
How
My
were
house?
Puff?
Yeah, we watched it at your house.
So there's a couple of cookies taken that I think deserve some honorable mentions. Just like the Nestle Toll House chocolate chip cookie. I mean, it's a classic. I understand why it wasn't taken, but it's a classic cookie along with the regular Oreo. I am surprised that nobody took the Pillsbury sugar cookies.
You want to know what's funny? I went through this whole draft thinking the regular Oreo was taken.
That's funny.
I also did that.
Because I would have taken it.
That's so funny. Also, I'm also surprised nobody took those like mini Entenmann chocolate chip cookies.
Vitamins. I thought about it, but
Oh, yeah.
Massey thought about it, but he wanted more cracker-based cookie snacks.
I did.
I'm surprised nobody took the rainbow Keebler M&M cookies.
Oh, I forgot about
Uh,
those.
I set our dorm room on fire with those
Yeah, you did.
How so?
He
in the
put them on
microwave.
he put them on a loose paper towel.
Hilarious.
I thought about taking the Sheehan High School's M&M cookies. Those were pretty fire.
I have a question. Is the pirouette considered a cookie?
Don't know what that is.
That's like that stick in the tin, the Pepperidge Farm tin.
Yeah. It's like a cookie straw.
It's like a wafer. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a
I would
cookie.
count it as a cookie.
Yeah, it'd count as a cookie. I'm surprised nobody took the birthday cake Oreo.
I'm an Oreo purist. I like occasionally other flavors, but Oreo is still the best.
Surprised Kendall didn't take Belvita.
Is that considered a cookie?
I'm pretty sure it's a cookie.
Velveeta?
Biscuit.
I would. That's a cracker.
I'm pretty sure it's a cookie.
It's all
Velveeta?
terrible.
If anything, it'd be a biscuit, but like biscuits and cookies are the
I
same.
think it's a biscuit.
It's the same thing.
Biscuit.
Yeah,
I'm surprised somebody took the Velveeta cracker. Just cheese.
my personal honorable mention that I didn't take because I knew nobody was going to take it, but I could eat an endless supply of these are the Girl Scout lemonades.
I've never actually had them.
They're so fun. It's just a vanilla cookie with like a lemon like cream, and it's so fucking good.
Sounds pretty good.
Lemon
I'm
is
all
so
set on that.
huh?
I'm all set on that.
Oh, lemon is so good. It's so refreshing.
Oh, remember we bought the s'mores cookies from the Girl Scouts?
Yeah, those are awful.
Yeah, they're pretty terrible.
Have you guys? So I don't know how far down the Tate's rabbit hole you guys have gone. They have a blueberry cookie that is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I've been pretty far down because when I was living at Kendall's house, Kendall's mom's a big Tate's person.
Those are so good.
They also make a lemon cookie that's really good.
I've been a guy.
Oh
that
man, I just thought of one I forgot about.
What'd you get? What is it?
A snickerdoodle.
Yeah.
That's a good cookie.
Yeah, but like I don't think you could have taken it.
Is there a mass-produced like maker of that?
Yeah, I
I
can't
would
think.
have Googled one.
Well, that's true, I guess.
Crenshaw's.
I never met a guy that hates blueberries but loves them in everything.
That's how I
Yeah.
feel.
That's my.
That's how I feel about strawberries. Like I can't eat regular strawberries, but like strawberry ice cream, strawberry jam, strawberry jelly, all day, every day. I'll eat all of it. But regular strawberry, fucking miss me with that.
My thing with I don't like the texture of blueberries. I like how they taste.
You don't like that
Isn't
grainy
flavored
sensation?
stuff?
Matt's a blueberry muffin guy. Loves them.
Oh, those are fucking killer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's our draft.
Trying to think what cookies I have.
You had Golden Oreo, No Wafer, BJ's Chocolate Chip, Little Debbie, and 10 cookies.
I mean, in the pantry.
Yeah, I also really want cookies.
I'm good. I'm ready to go take a shower and go to bed.
I think
I'm pretty sure I'm going to stop at the grocery store first thing in the morning and buy a pack of Golden Oreos all day.
I tell you, I really thought Golden Oreos was going to get to me.
Golden Oreos was not getting past me.
I didn't know. I didn't know Paul was a fan.
Oh, it is the GOAT cookie in my opinion.
I love them.
It is perfect.
I love them.
Hey, did you guys know that Doritos started making like mini Doritos in like a Pringles can?
No.
Nope, not a fan of that.
Take a picture. I just opened up the thing. How do I take a picture on this fucking thing?
You click the plus button.
Plus. Camera. Oh, that's my shaft.
Oh, porn.
Oh, porn.
Me can get that too.
Funny every time.
I'm going to send it. All right. You guys can start doing beer reviews.
Really?
I had a bush. It was a bush. Not a fan of that.
I had the 2 juicy, and it was very juicy. It tasted great. Made me hungry.
Tasted great, made me hungry. I could dig it.
I actually didn't have a beer tonight. I didn't do it in the reviews. I didn't have a beer tonight. I didn't have time to get to the store today. I was dealing with a flat tire situation all day.
That's a bummer with your car.
Yeah, I woke up this morning and it was just fucking sitting on the rim.
Kind of fun.
Yeah. That's what it is. You do what you
Well,
gotta
some
do.
nice penis you got there.
Thanks, man. You like how it's red? It took years of work in the sun to get that way.
Ugh. Done with that.
Man. Oh. Tub of mini chips in here. Sweet. Let me eat these.
Or Kendall, how was your beer?
So I began with the
Mock, how was your beer?
excellent.
Kendall, go ahead.
I had the limited edition Standish Imperial Stout. That's Standish from Mayflower Brewing Company of Plymouth, Mass. It was brewed May 2015, packaged on September of 2015. 100 barrels done. This was very good. This was, I had called Paul before the show, asking him if I could dive into some of the, the beers that made it back to my house. And I hadn't had like a stout in a long time, and this really kind of like hit the spot. Had the kind of like the kind of like a chocolatey, fruity type, taste. Very, malty. This kind of listed here is 9%. I don't know if it really ages. I mean, Paul could probably speak on it better than I can. I don't know if it's that style of stout similar to like what the Goose Island product would be, or if it just kind of stays safe at 9%. But I would definitely drink this beer again. So I give this a we'll call it a 4.7 out of 5, and I followed up with a libation. What?
Nothing.
Just talking shit, huh? Libation from Outer Light of Groton, Connecticut. What's listed here is it's libation propaganda coffee stout. What's listed here, it says black malt mellows out with textbooks of stout dryness, caramel and toffee notes shine through. Chocolate malt is supplemented by locally roasted coffee. Unfortunately, I didn't get any of that. Now, I don't know if just because the beer is too old and it didn't really, age well or whatever, if it wasn't meant to be aged. This was kind of just a very regular stout. I mean, it could be anything. It could be just it wasn't meant to be, or just the beer wasn't that good. It's tough to know without having any like other, experience with it. So this would probably only be like a 1.7 out of 5. Would not get again. And I closed out with some PBRs.
I don't know for sure. We would need to hire an intern to go through the logs. But is that the first time Kendall ever said he would not get it again?
Yes.
That's not true. There's been beers that I haven't. Look, is that a drinkable beer? Of course it is. Of course it is. You give me a beer like, what's the saying go? My first favorite beer is cold. The second is free. However the saying goes, whatever it is. I live and breathe that, entirely. However, like there are beers I wouldn't go out of my way for. Like if something like if I open up like the trunk of my car and there's like, oh awesome, there's beer in here, great. It's made with piss, even better. It's just like it wouldn't. I have like some semblance of a taste. Despite everything you think you might know about me, I do have like some good things to say, but wouldn't get it again.
Nice. I didn't have a beer, but I'm ending the show on a real goat move right now. You know those little plastic containers that they do like the mini Chips Ahoy in?
Yes.
Yeah, just milk straight in and eat it with a spoon.
Cookie Crisp.
Kyle, give us a Cookie Crisp.
Kyle, how was your beer?
No.
Very sad.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, Mock, where can they find us?
Find us on Facebook at Getting Sports with the Drunk, Twitter and Instagram at GSWD_4.
Make sure to use the hashtag GSWD for all your daily uses, whether it's confusing cookies and crackers or wasting your pick on a shit cookie.
Like, comment, subscribe on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I got. You guys have anything else?
Yeah, nothing.
All right. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week, but it'll be something. And until then, I'm your host, Cupcake the Riddler.
I'm Mark.
Seen Washable.
No.
The Master's Massey.
And the what? Go ahead.
No, I didn't think you heard me. Go ahead. Start it again.
Bummer.
I'm your host, Cupcake the Riddler.
I'm Mark.
Seen Washable.
No.
So quiet. The Master's Massey.
And the Red Baron, who's the frozen pizza.
Yeah.